Rome liked to pretend it hated kings. It claimed to be ruled by law, by tradition, by the Senate. But behind the marble and the speeches, power had a habit of concentrating, first in one man, and then, for the first time, in a woman. Her name was Agrippina the Younger. She was never crowned. She never sat on a throne. And yet, for a brief, dangerous moment, Rome bent around her will. This is the story of the first Roman empress. Not by title, by reality. Agrippina was born into the most powerful family Rome had ever known, the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Her bloodline read like a warning label. She was the great-granddaughter of Augustus, the man who ended the Republic. The sister of Caligula, whose reign taught Rome what terror looked like. The wife of Claudius, the underestimated scholar emperor, and the mother of Nero, history's most infamous ruler. From childhood, Agrippina learned one lesson early. Power did not reward innocence, it rewarded awareness. She watched relatives rise and disappear. She survived exile, she survived purges, and by the time she returned to Rome, she understood the rules better than most men who pretended to write them. Rome allowed women influence quietly, through whispers, through marriages, through sons. What it did not allow was visibility. Agrippina shattered that illusion. She appeared on coins, side by side with the emperor. She received the title Augusta while still alive, an honor almost unheard of. She sat behind a curtain at Senate meetings, listening, advising, directing. Everyone knew she was there. This wasn't manipulation from the shadows. This was authority in daylight. And that terrified Rome. Claudius already had a son. By Roman custom, that should have settled succession. Agrippina disagreed. She married Claudius, her uncle, yes, but Rome's elite marriages were rarely sentimental. Then she did something masterful. She had Claudius adopt her son Nero, legally elevating him above all rivals. She secured elite tutors, military loyalty, political allies. Opposition faded. Sometimes quietly, sometimes permanently. When Claudius died suddenly, suspiciously, Nero became emperor at 16. And Agrippina stood beside him. For the first years of Nero's reign, Rome wasn't ruled by a teenage boy. It was ruled by his mother. Edicts bore her influence. Appointments reflected her strategy. Foreign kings addressed her directly. Rome had its first empress, even if it refused to say the word. Here's the problem with Agrippina's legacy. Almost everything we know comes from men who despised her. Historians like Tacitus and Suetonius described her as immoral, manipulative, power-hungry, unnatural. But listen carefully. These same traits, when worn by men, were called decisive, ambitious, strong. Agrippina wasn't condemned for cruelty alone. She was condemned for refusing invisibility. She didn't just bend the rules, she exposed them. As Nero grew older, something changed. He no longer wanted shared power. He wanted applause without supervision. Agrippina became an obstacle. So Nero tried to remove her. Poison failed. A collapsing boat failed. Even the sea refused to help him. Finally, soldiers were sent. According to tradition, when they reached her, Agrippina didn't beg. She didn't run. She said, "Strike here," pointing to her wound. Whether legend or truth, Rome remembered the message. This is where your emperor came from. She died not as a victim of chaos, but as a casualty of control. If you're listening while driving, resting, or just thinking, this story continues. On Spotify, search History Dude BC to hear the full series, uninterrupted. Agrippina the Younger was not gentle. She was not safe. She was not what Rome wanted a woman to be. But she understood the empire better than most men who ruled it. She proved that power didn't belong to titles, only to those brave enough to claim it. Rome killed her, history maligned her, and yet her impact remains impossible to erase. Because the truth is this: the most dangerous rulers don't seize power. They make everyone comfortable with the idea that someone already has. Agrippina didn't just make an emperor. She showed Rome its own reflection, and Rome couldn't survive what it saw. If you like history told without shouting, without heroes made simple, and without pretending power was ever fair, subscribe. Because some women didn't just survive history, they ran it. If you value history told with care, Patreon helps us keep doing this. Ad-free episodes, early access, and a quiet corner of the internet where curiosity still matters. Links are below. Thank you for carrying the story forward.